New details now in a KCTV5 news investigation.
You may remember this woman. This is Megan Miller, a woman with a developmental disability branded by a secret state registry as abusive and neglectful. Despite our investigation proving her innocence, the Department of Children and Family Services still has her blacklisted, unable to work with children.
Investigative reporter Angie Racono has learned new information tonight about the decision to keep her there.
This is definitely a case of KCTV5 standing up for someone who has no power and no voice. Megan's family contacted us as a last-ditch hope when they learned Megan lost a hearing to remove her name from that blacklist. Because once you're on that list, good luck getting off, even if it's a botched investigation. But listen to this. Against all odds, Megan actually won her hearing. But this woman, Phyllis Gilmore, decided to keep her there anyway.
As her mother, I was appalled that my child was on that list. And somebody that would not hurt anybody, that has the kindest heart, would be on a list like that.
Megan Miller's parents reached out for help. They had a mess they couldn't solve. It was a case KCTV5 couldn't believe. Here's what happened in 2012. Little kids snuck off a daycare playground and made it all the way to this ditch. No one was harmed, but everyone can agree that's terrible. Adults should have been doing their jobs. It turns out teachers were on their phones and not paying attention. DCF investigated and decided those in charge should be placed on the registry for abuse and neglect, banishing them from working with children. But they also blacklisted Megan Miller.
That anybody in the state would do this to anyone, special needs or not, without talking to them, never find out what happened. I can't believe it.
The DCF investigator didn't realize the following important information. Megan is a woman with a mental disability, and she's labeled that way by the state of Kansas. In fact, she doesn't qualify for a driver's license, so a taxi took her to the daycare. The investigator thought Megan was a teacher. She wasn't. She was an aide who worked 3 hours a day and helped play with kids and prepare snacks. And guess how she got that job? Through a DCF program. So everything listed on your screen, they should have known, right? Wrong. There was a phone call from an investigator that Megan didn't return because she has been taught not to talk to strangers, which means no one involved in the DCF investigation ever spoke with Megan. But we did.
What is the registry? Can you explain it to me?
I'm not sure what it is.
Do you understand why we're here talking to you?
No.
Megan's world is a bit different. She suffered brain damage as a baby due to spinal meningitis. But her life has been full. She goes on vacations and competes in Special Olympics. She had a job she just loved.
Where was your last job where you worked with kids?
It'd be Little Learners, Megan.
Yeah, it'd be Little Learners.
Megan's parents had no idea their daughter had been placed on that registry until decisions were final. They were advised the best way to handle the mess was accept it and ask for expungement. So last year, Megan had a telephone hearing with 3 people. 2 of the people voted for her to be expunged from that government registry. MM should not have been placed on registry in first place. Kids she was nearest were not lost. It was other employees who should have been watching, as MM lacked capacity to watch kids. Another wrote, I believe that Megan was only substantiated because her name was on the employee roster, and no attempt was made to learn her capacity issues or that she was employee under the VOC rehab program. She was apparently playing with the children on the playground while the real teachers were neglecting the children. Expunge. But guess what? That didn't happen. And Megan's parents didn't obtain this secret information until they hired a lawyer and sued. They are ecstatic and angry because this means one person at the top decided to block that expungement.
Do you feel Megan is a danger to children?
Again, that is not the question before me. The question is, should there be an expungement?
Meet Phyllis Gilmore, the head of DCF. And by the way, she's never met Megan either. So we made a video and brought it to her.
This is Megan.
Tell me about the registry. I know you were telling me that's why you can't work with the kids. What is the registry? Can you explain it to me?
I'm not sure what it is.
Do you understand why we're here talking to you?
No.
Do you think it's fair to hold her accountable for what happened that day when you see her functional level?
Angie, the question before me relates, well, our agency, the primary purpose of our agency is to protect children.
But even that statement, protecting children, is now under fire. Gilmore is now leaving DCF, retiring after months of political heat. She's been questioned by lawmakers and criticized by the public in the death of Adrian Jones, a young boy on the DCF radar who died a horrible, torturous death. Recently, lawmakers questioned Gilmore's leadership when she didn't know details about children unaccounted for in the DCF system. Tonight, these parents question Gilmore's power, why she doubled down on a botched decision they consider cruel and heartbreaking.
So one person gets to make that decision, even though that's not the way it appears. We find that interesting. By the way, we've had no response from her, and we should point out that she was appointed by Governor Brownback. We've reached out to him multiple times regarding Megan's case. No response. But we'll keep reporting on this issue. It's now headed to court, and Megan's parents are spending thousands of dollars to bring everything before a judge. Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.
And Megan now works in food service. She's grateful for her job, but being on that list limits her ability to volunteer at her church and interact with young people.